Welcome to my new podcast, Car Buying Simplified. Who says I can't wait to go into this dealer and spend 8 hours and getting ripped off, but I got a new car, right? That's what happens to a lot of people. There's statistics that mention that 80% of car buyers pay way more, thousands of dollars just left on the table. They just pay way more than they should. I have an example. Last Monday, my friend calls me up and says, "Hey, I need a car." Right? Their car got totaled, and while they figure out what the insurance is going to do, they need a car now. So drove to New Jersey. I'm in New York, and went to the first dealer, and that was awful. They wanted a Toyota Sienna, 2016 to 2020. We drove three in the first dealer, and it was just the pictures and the. I mean, I don't know if they just took pictures of a different car, but it was just incredible how when you get there and the car just doesn't look the same, right? And we know that, right? I see it all the time. First advice: get videos of the car, right? Because in pictures they could kind of take a little angle, right? They could kind of angle out the problems, but a video it's a little bit harder for the person to kind of edit out certain things, right? So you ask them take a video of the entire car, around the car inside, engine bay pictures, right? Because the car could be pristine outside. You open up that hood, right, and the engine is just disgusting, right? So obviously they spend a lot of time outside in the car, waxing, detailing it, but really the engine bay would also tell you if it's even worth driving the car. So tips, right? Get pictures and videos, some pictures of the engine bay, see how the engine bay is. If the engine's dirty, you might be able to catch some things leaking. So just keep that in mind, right? Let's make a checklist of the things that we need to have when we're buying a car. And right now we're talking about used car, right? Anyways, getting back to the story, I found another car while I was in that dealer, another Toyota Sienna 2018, in a bigger dealer. This was actual Toyota dealer. We drove up there, and they had I had called it in because it was 30 minutes away. We got in there. The person met us. Got the car. The car was pretty good condition. And I mean, I was pretty mint outside. Well, outside and inside, it was pretty mint. I couldn't find any kind of issues. The other three cars that were painted, so I quickly noticed that. Right, this one looked like it was no accidents, no paint jobs. 2018. We drove perfect. There was no issues. The brakes a little bit. I think that they might need to be replaced in a year or so, but everything was fine. So everything was fine with the car. We get inside, the dealer and the salesperson gives me their first quote. They wanted $1,110 a month for 72 months. The credit wasn't, perfect or great. It was just average. But for them to come with, I just couldn't believe it, $1,110 a month for 72 months. I looked at it and I was like, okay, can I borrow a pen? Took a pen. And when I started looking through it, right, this is the next tip. Look at the fees. The fees will kill you. They wanted $499 to tint the windows. And this is a minivan, right? So you'll have every window tinted except the driver and passenger, and of course the windshield. But everything else is tinted. So they wanted $500 to tint two windows, right? $250 a piece. That was just incredible. So I crossed that out, and then I see a $599 charge for nitrogen. They wanted $600 to fill 4 of your tires with nitrogen. Where, I mean, what is that? $40 and free at Costco if you're getting tires, right? Incredible. So right there, just crush those two. That's so over $1,000 in savings at that point. And their dock fee was $1,000. Wait, no, sorry, $999 for dock fee. New Jersey's a state where there's no law, right? There's no cap, so they could charge whatever they want. But I spent a good 10, 15 minutes just talking to them and drilling them. Like, why are you charging so much? Why are you charging $1,000 for dock fees? I mean, I purchased new or used, not all in dealers, but I purchased around 100 cars or so. And the ones I purchased in dealers, dock fees, I think the most I paid was like $375 for a dock fee. I did just buy a car back in February. That was $299. Before that, that was like 100. A year ago, 100 and something, like less than $200 in a Subaru for a WRX. And it was in Jersey too. Anyways, going back to this deal. So I took the paper, crossed it out. I crossed out the $1,110, crossed out the 72 months, and put some numbers in there, give it back. And the salesperson, he wasn't too polite, right? I think he just needed a little bit of customer service training. Anyways, he took the paper. He's like, no, we can't do this. I'm like, okay, I understand. Can you please, have your manager look over this deal that I'm giving you and let him, let him look over it. No, I know what he's gonna say. He's gonna say the same thing. I'm telling you, he's gonna say the same thing. So I told him again. He keeps back and forth, and I said, oh, all right, I want your manager to tell me no. Then take that to him. I want to hear from him. I get what you're saying, but I want to hear your manager say no to this deal. I think by that time we were like an hour and a half into the whole, since we walked in. He leaves. He takes half an hour. He comes back, and we're like at $800 a month. I saw it. I said, this, you guys are just playing around. Like, this card. I think they wanted $18,000 for it, right? I think it was like 18. So I take his next deal. I cross out 18. I said I wanted 15,000 for it. I crossed out again there 800, whatever it was. And put more, just kept. I think we did that like 5 times or 4 or 5 times. And at the end, I want this is what we're gonna do, and that's it. So, anyways, I think we spent like 4 hours total, and I saved them $540 a month. They were so desperate that they just, they needed that, a big car. They liked that one specifically, and when we were like at seven something a month, they were like, oh, just take it. I just, we need something. You saved us already 3 something. No, I was like, no, we're gonna do this. This is just not, there. And I feel like maybe we could have gone to 500 even. Sorry, $600 savings, but fortunately they had to get gap insurance because of how up, their interest rate and the credit. So there was some extra charge. Not it wasn't a lot. It was pretty good. You could also check. There's another tip. You could also check your car insurance company that you have, and they will offer you gap insurance. So I did check online a couple of the places, and they were actually doing good. And even at the end, I got that 30% off the gap insurance, a little more. So what happened in this deal? Well, they just, they just want to take advantage of you, right? They see a person maybe with children, they want to sweat it out, right? They want you to be there for hours. The thing is, the longer you're there, the faster you're going to give in, right? So that's why it takes so long. There's always the back and forth. They want to sweat you out, right? They want to get you tired, and then you're just at the point where like, I just want this car. I want this car. Whatever. Let's just do the deal. You might think, oh, I already saved. This is my second quote. A second offer, and they knock down $100 or two. I think is a good deal, and you walk away, and you probably could have saved another $250 a month or so on, right? So just if you're gonna buy a car, new or used, just think you're gonna go to a dealer, you're gonna be there for a day, right? Just have that in mind. The next advice, just think about making the car buying process simplified. You want to not even take a step outside your house. right? You want to go online. You could use tools as TrueCar.com, Auto Tempest. Those two sites, it's basically your starting point to get a price going, right? You could start having dealers compete for you there, right? You'll see who has a better percentage off, and you start off from there. You grab 10 dealers, right? Let's say you're buying a Toyota. You look at 10 Toyota dealers. If there are 10 Toyota dealers near you, right? Um, think, can I drive an hour away? Can I drive 2 hours, right? So try to get 5 to 10 dealers, and at the end it might be like two fighting, back and forth, right, with you to to get that deal. So the first thing you want to do is you don't want to make you don't even want to make a phone call, right? There's a lot of people that do make phone calls, that's fine, but let's just have them text you. There's going to be dealers where they don't want to give you a quote over the phone, they don't want to give you a quote email or text. Just pressure them. Last week or this week actually, I think I called like 20 dealers, and maybe 18 or 17 gave me quotes. 3 or 4 didn't. So just you have to say, well, look, I just don't want to waste your time. Just like I don't want to waste my time. I want to see the numbers, and I want to see it's a quote, so I want to see the quote, so that I could make my decision if I want to step in your dealership, right? So you also want to make sure that they know that you're serious, right? So you say, okay, also send me some pictures, videos, of this and that if it's used, right? You want specific parts of the car you want to look at. So they're like, okay, this guy, he actually wants to see the car, wants to know more about the car. And that might get you into then, okay, oh, thanks for the pictures. Can you, that's good. Like, can you send me some quotes, right? And that works. Another thing, just make it easier for yourself, right? Don't um don't say you love that color, you love that car, you have the only one in 100-mile radius. Don't tell them any of that, right? Even if it's true, right? Even if you found the one you were looking for, the color, the options, they don't need to hear that, right? Because once you start saying any of those stuff, right? I love this car. This car drives better than any of the ones I driven. They'll like, okay, they'll start looking at that side of things, and then know like, oh, this guy might just, this person might just want to pay because this is the one he wanted. He couldn't get it anywhere else, so they'll go that route. Just nonchalant. All right, that's just okay. Thank you. This is good. Okay, let's see, and just like take 10 minutes and then go back and ask them a question, right? Um, so just do your homework. Go to these websites and just do your homework. And if you know somebody that has a car, just drive it. Drive the car, and just so you don't have to go to a dealer, right? Sometimes you obviously you have to drive the car at the end of the day, right? But if you have the option to be able to drive it before stepping into a dealership, go ahead and try it. Okay, so these are some of the tips that I want to go over, with you through my podcast. I am actually working on a deal right now for myself on my own car. So I want to discuss that. I'll also be calling dealers on the next episode. The deal is pretty hard because I want something. I want a specific price where I'm just under. Let's see what happens in the next episode. At third episode, I'm gonna have a guest, and we'll do a little bit of a Q&A, car related, purchasing, how to talk to the dealers. So I hope that everybody enjoyed my podcast. Stay tuned, and thanks everybody for listening.